From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Now, I want to give you a quick reminder that there are so many different ways that you can get information from Weather NorCal. You've got the app, the free app. I've been telling you about that. You've got the website. And there's also this great resource. It's a 24-hour streaming channel, and it has all kinds of great information on there. Not only the weather forecast that I'm doing right now, for example, but it has your neighborhood forecasts in there, and it shows you, and it updates on the hour. So you get all the latest forecast data, the current conditions out there as well. And we also have some specialized programming. You got Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, Pet of the Week. Now we got Financial Freedom. So a lot of great resources, including the streaming channel here. Now, one of the things that I think is great about it is if you're one of those people, you wake up in the morning, you're busy, you got a lot to do, but you want that forecast, but let's say you're not really big on news, right? We turn this thing on during your morning routine, and you're going to get all kinds of great information, including the morning forecast to get you out the door for the day. So check it out. You can also get it on Fire TV, Roku, eventually coming to Apple TV. You can also check it out on YouTube. It's on the 24-hour streaming channel, on the website as well. So yeah, I kind of went on a lot about that, but let's talk about now a great event. And I'm so excited about this because I've been going to the Manton Apple Festival for over 20 years. I've been a judge for the apple pie baking contest. It's this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Manton Elementary School. Go on out there. I'm going to have a booth out there after I judge the pies. So be sure to stop on by, say hello, ask me questions about Weather NorCal. I'll be glad to answer some of your questions and maybe even take some of your requests as well. I'm going to have some swag out there. It'll be a lot of fun. Look at Trinidad. This is out at El Country. I mean, just gorgeous. You've got the sunny skies out there. It's been that way all week long. I mean, you've got that even for Crescent City as well. Look at the sun. It's beginning to get closer and closer to setting. We're seeing those days get shorter and shorter. And the heat, it's been something we've been dealing with here in the valley, and we'll continue to deal with here as we take you into really the next couple of days. You can see the clear skies that we do have in store for us, and we're seeing it now. Now, notice the camera's not shaking around because the winds have died down a bit, but still a little breezy at times for some of us over the next few days. Now, I do expect a cooling trend, but really not until we go into next week. But with that cooling trend, we're also talking about the potential for some showers going in early next week as well. All right, let's talk about the winds. Now, the winds aren't going to be a big factor. You can see as we go into Friday, nothing to be concerned about, right? But this is what I'm looking at on Saturday. See how the winds are kind of starting to elevate a little bit here. Now, what that's going to do is, unfortunately, it may increase our fire weather risk. So for your Friday, nothing to be concerned about, right? But as we take you into your Saturday, look at this. Because of those winds picking up, we actually may see just slightly elevated fire risk out there. Now, keep in mind that this takes a look at three different things. It looks at the temperature, which is going to be another hot day. Even on Saturday, temperature is at least in the low 90s in the valley. But there are those winds, you saw they're picking up as well, and not to mention the fact that it's been dry and will be dry. And it's all thanks to this big ridge of high pressure that's in place right now. It will be in place, but it is shifting eastward. So the heat sticking around at least through Saturday. Then that heat shifts down to the south. Some cooler air begins to kind of come on in. Now, with this cooler air, we're also talking about the chances for rain, which we'll get into that here in a second. But that cooler air will then move out. And look at this, by Wednesday, Thursday of next week, we've got another ridge of high pressure building in. Now, this one for next week is not going to be as strong. So I don't think we're going to quite reach the mid-90s that we've been seeing here this week, but it will be warmer. All right, so here's a look at the chances for rain. So as I mentioned, it's going to be dry through the weekend. If you get outdoor plans, nothing to worry about. You're in the clear. Nothing to worry about at all. This is through Sunday night at 11 p.m. But we do have an approaching cold front, and that will be here by sometime Monday morning. Now, the timing and really even the intensity of this rain is going to change over the next few days. But as we get closer and closer to it, starting to get a little bit more confidence in this overall solution. So you can see as we go to Monday morning, it's hitting the coast. Now, as we typically see with these types of cold fronts, they stay fairly strong for the coast. Then as we advance through time, we're going to take you around the noon hour on Monday. That cold front is moving through the valley. Now, a lot of times it breaks apart, and it's doing that. But it may have just enough strength, and by the way, even enough moisture for us to maybe see some measurable rainfall for the valley. And you can see nothing really for many of the eastern mountains at this point. Now, as it moves eastward by Monday afternoon, Monday evening, I mean, it's gone, right? We're drying things out. So I think we're going to struggle to see even a trace or even a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall in the eastern mountains, whereas we could be talking about over an inch of rain for places like Del Norte County, half an inch to an inch in Humboldt County. So it's going to be one of those situations where it's typical. Heaviest rainfall to the west, not as much off to the east. But check this out. As we go into Tuesday, we've got another disturbance kind of coming on through. That will be here by Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. So what I'm seeing here is Modoc County, Siskiyou, the North Coast, even Trinity County, seeing a chance for some showers. Nothing heavy. This is going to be less significant. But I do expect dry conditions for the valley on Tuesday, and not to mention for most of the eastern mountains as well. And then it's dry through the rest of next week. As I mentioned, that high pressure is building in for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, it may still allow some of these clouds to move in, but we've got a storm system off to our west toward the end of next week that we've got to keep our eyes on. But until then, looks dry. So let's take a look at the rainfall outlook through Tuesday night, right? So there you can see, as I mentioned, this is where the cold front is strongest. This is where we see the heaviest rainfall. You see how we just start to see it get less and less and less as you start heading eastward. Typical, normal with this type of system here. So much needed rainfall, or should we say welcomed rainfall for the North Coast. And welcomed rainfall really for everyone. It's just not everyone's going to see as much rainfall as the coast as we typically see. And looking down the pike here, the precipitation outlook as we go into October 11th through the 15th, we're seeing the lighter shades of green. What that's telling you is that, yes, there is a chance to seeing above normal rainfall, but it's a very slim chance of seeing that. So things look like they're drying out after the system moves through on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Wave heights, yeah, you're finally getting some relief out in the ocean. You're looking at about 4 feet as you start heading out to sea. So your marine forecast, northwest winds at 5 knots. There may be some patchy fog out there, by the way, so just be aware of that if you do need to be out on your boat. Here's what it looks like for tonight. Temperatures, low 60s for the valley. It's cold again. You know, this is where we're actually seeing most of the color change. Should be a beautiful weekend for it, by the way, but this is where we're seeing most of the color change right now, which is indicative of the fact that, yeah, we're seeing those colder temperatures there, not as cold as you head off to the west. Now, for tomorrow, yeah, I mean, it was hot today. I mean, temperatures well into the 90s for the valley. 70s and 80s here as we take into the higher elevations. Even Trinity County getting up to about 90. Low 90s for Hoopa and Garberville. And yeah, again, I mean, we're going to be looking at temperatures possibly in the low 70s for places like Crescent City and Eureka. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And there's that rain coming in. Now, it's not going to be a lot. Mount Shasta, you won't see a ton, but there's that chance Monday and Tuesday. That's the case for Alturas. And not to mention Susanville. Although Susanville, your main chance will be Monday, and it won't be that significant. On Tuesday, I've got you dry. Now for the valley, I have included the raindrops in there for Monday for Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico. Temperatures dropping, but I do expect dry conditions on Tuesday, keeping it dry and warming up a bit as we go into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Here's your 7-day outlook for the North Coast, and there it is, Monday. Inland and the coast, well, of course, the coast seeing the most amount of rainfall, right? And then the inland areas, and then less rainfall for Weaverville. And then, of course, that round coming in Tuesday. And really, it's mainly going to be Tuesday evening into Tuesday night before drying out for Wednesday and Thursday, and starting to warm up as well as we go into the middle to latter part of next week.